Welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we'll hunt for the XSS in the website, which will be our test website with the filter bypassed payload. So you can simply go to the Google and search for payload list JavaScript. You will get this GitHub link. So let me just open this and let me wait for a moment. So okay, let me just see that this is the XSS payload. So let me just grab all of these and let me just copy this and let me just make one new notepad and let me just paste it down here. So first of all, let me copy it, let me paste it here, and you can simply save this as xss.txt or simply a XSS file. So I've already created that file right here. So now that is our payload. Now we have to just inject that payload through the intruder of the burp suite in this website. So first of all, you have to see that your proxy is on or not. So let me go to the setting, make sure you have this checked, that is manual proxy configuration. So let me just press OK. So this is our test website. So let's open the burp suite. Let me just first copy this link because we need to crawl that. So I'll just start a new scan. Let me just press OK and it will just start to crawling that page. Let me just go to the target here and you will see this is the page. So you'll see bunch of the login and we just get here the parameter. So we have the test parameter where you can simply put some of the values. So let me wait for a moment to see. We just can get some of the parameters. So all you need to do is simply press this parameter twice so as to get in the descending order. So we have bunch of pages over here. So let me just go to this pp parameter. So I'll just go here and first of all you need to do is send to the repeater to see if this is reflected or not. So instead of 12, I'll just say hello or something like that. So let me just press go and let's see if this works. So I'll just search for hello and it has been reflected over here in the anchor tag. So that means this is the vulnerable. So all you need to do is simply send this to intruder. So I'll just send this to the intruder and this is our intruder. So go to the positions. So here we have to inject your payload in this hello. So you can simply clear, select this pp field, add it right here. So it should be over here. So I just made a mistake. So let me just clear it one more time. Let me just press this and let me just add it. Now I want to go to the payload and we have to load that payload now. So it should be in my desktop and that is xss.txt that we just made, and we'll just open this. So this is all the payload that we have just made use of. So you can also insert your own payload from here if you want. So you can simply make your own payload to see if this works or not. You can make simple alert and something like that and you will just add it. So after you just make this load, that is your payload list, the simple list, and you can see the number of payload you have here. So I have 109. You can have more than this. So there is a simple thing over here. So you need not to touch this payload processing, and this is basically your payload encoding. So it will just make use of this encoding in the HTTP request. So next one is to simply go in the right hand side and press this stat attack. So let's give this a little bit of time to see how this works. So let me just wait for a moment and it has just made all the attacks. So you could see now we have successfully made the attack on each of these payload. Now all you need to do is simply go to the length and you could see this first one over here is having the empty. That means it has also tested for the empty payload. and for the empty payload it has the length of 576. So anything that is greater than 576 has a likely chance of getting vulnerable. So I'll just twicely click on this length and it will just made our length highest at the top. So that means this payload has highest chance of getting basically injected or basically getting infected. So let me see the response to the browser. Let me just copy this, go over here, and let's see if this works or not. So it has not worked. So you have to check for a bunch of here. So let me just go and let's see for this one. So I'll just say show response to the browser. In the future I'll just show this style again. Let me just paste it again, paste and go, and again this is not executed even. So you can see that we have not got any chance of success till now. So let's hope if this works or not. So response in browser, let me just paste it down, and again this is also not working. So what has happened is simply our payload is not working correctly. So let's see for this one. So response to the browser, I think this must work. Okay, again this is also not working. So this has been encoded right here. So let's see some other one, and I'll just go for maybe the simple tag, or we can go for maybe this one. Let me see the response to the browser, paste and go, and again this has not been reflected again. So that means we are failed to get some of the importance parameter here. So you can check for all of these, but I'm not wasting any more time on this because I want to test for the another parameter now. So let's go to the proxy, let's go to the target, and let's see for the another parameter, and if we just can get for another parameter. Let's test for this test field. So I'll just go here, and okay, let me just go for this one. Let's see, let's send this to the repeater and let's see if this works or not. So let me see for the repeater, and instead of just get request, I'll just search for the post request. Let me just go for the post. So we have post here for the test. Send this to repeater to see if it has any XSS attack. So you could see that it is simple test. So I think it has not vulnerable again. So let me just see for next post if this has any field. Send this to the repeater. Let me see here. So this has some text. Let's see if this works or not. So I'll just pass here hello. Let me quickly press go, and let's see if this hello has reflected or not. So hello has reflected, but in the position that is not vulnerable. So let me just go for name. I'll say Udemy, and let me just press go again. Let's see if this reflects or not. So it has been reflected in this strong, but I think okay, let's test for this name. Okay, instead of that I'll just go for another parameter again. So let's test for something that is over here, so which has the highest length. So let's try for this. So send this to the repeater. I'll just go to the repeater, and artist has one here. So I'll just pass here hello, and let's press go. Let's see if this hello has been reflected or not, and it has not been reflected. That means this is not vulnerable. Let's go right here to the target again, and now I'll just see for again for another parameter. Let's test now for this one again. So let's test for this post. Send this to repeater, go over here, and let's test for this query. So I'll just say Udemy again. Let's press this go, and let's see if this reflects or not. So it is not reflecting. So again go to the target, and let's search for something that will get our XSS attack. So let's see. Till now we are not successed, or we are not getting anything. So let's send this to repeater. Let's see if this works. So I'll just pass here something like, again, the Udemy. Let's see if this works. So it is just saying you must log in. So I'll just say again the Udemy, and again just press go. Okay, this is not working. So we are not succeeded till yet. So let's see for this pick. Send this to the repeater as always. So I'll just say Udemy again, and let's source this one. I think it will be reflected again. So we are not getting success till yet. So let's see for any other link. If I just get this PNP, let's see. Let's send this to repeater. Let's go to the repeater. Let's see for PP field. I think this will be vulnerable. Let's say hello over here. Let's see if this is reflected or not. So I think this is reflected because hello has been reflected over here. So let's send this to the intruder and check for our payload list. So I'll just send this to intruder. Go to the intruder position. So I want to just inject into this PP field. So let's clear this. Go to the PP field, or select everything on this PP field. Let's add this. Go to the payload. Load our simple payload over here, which is this payload, and let's start the attack. Let's wait for a moment. It will execute all of this and it will just sort our length. And now it has also shown us something over here. So let's go for something like this. So I'll just say a response to the browser. Let's hope this is vulnerable. So it has not executed. Now let's see. Okay, let's search for this one. I think this will be executed. So let's see for this one maybe. So response in the browser. Let's search, or let's payload. Okay, so we have found the payload that is working now. So we just got this payload that has successfully worked. So you can just see it has something like the length to be 215 but 214, but this payload has successfully executed to this PP parameter. So you can simply show response to the browser, get that link, paste and go, and you could see your the link, or basically your JavaScript code, has been executed on the browser. So this is the way to inject all the payload. So instead of just making your own payload line by line, you can just make a list of a payload, you can inject that, and you can just enter or insert into the certain position. After you see that in the repeater that if the field has reflected any of the input, then you can simply go to the intruder, select that position, go to the payload section, and just load your payload, all the list of payload. In my case I have a 109 payload count, and start the attack. In anything from the length that will be 1 to 10 from the descending order will have the high chances of getting vulnerable. So that field you can just count, and you can simply show response to the browser, paste your link over here, and see if your JavaScript code has been executed in the browser or not. So this is the way to just bypass the filtered payload list in this burp suite. So this is the way to work with the intruder and the repeater. So you can simply make use of this PP field. You can simply make your simple payload like here. So I'll just make script and alert and give some messages and simply close my, okay, this should be script, not alert, script tag, and you can simply press go again and simply show response in the browser. Simply paste it down here. simply press it, and you can see that it has reflected. So you can just check for the XSS attack from the repeater, from the intruder. So intruder is very useful if you want to test for multiple payloads, and if you want to test for single payload, you can go through the repeater. So these are the two important to see for the XSS attack in the websites. So this will be wrap for this lecture. See you in the next one.